Hi, my name is Neil Keller. In this video I'll be going over some what I'd call basic stability exercises. They are also body awareness exercises, and these are exercises, and this actual sequence of exercises is one that I use quite frequently in some of my beginner intermediate classes, particularly with people who haven't done any body awareness exercises. And you could consider this a continuation of my previous video, the side plank weight shifting exercise. Some of the principles used are the same. The exercises will include a spinal backbending exercise. This is a basic exercise just to teach body awareness how to feel the spinal erectors. I'll also be including tabletop. This is to build awareness of the shoulders. Some cat pose variations, again to build awareness of the shoulders, and also how to use the muscles at the back of the spine and the back of the leg. From there we'll be going into some lunging variations to learn how to feel the foot and knee, how they operate together, particularly when lifting the knees in a lunging position. And I'll also include push-up variation designed to help make it easier to work towards Chaturanga Dandasana. And here the idea is to again use the same basic body awareness that we're using in all of the previous exercises and applying it to push-up, how to feel, basically how to gradually apply pressure to lift up, and also how to lift up parts of your body in different orders to gradually add weight to the exercise. And finally, as a recovery pose from push-up, will be including some shoulder stretching. Just a spinal back bending exercise that starts with feeling the sacrums, the triangular bone between the buttocks, between the top of the buttocks. So sitting with the sacrum sinking down to the pelvis is actually rolling backwards. Slowly lift your sacrum so that your pelvis tilts forward. As your pelvis tilts forward, your pubic bone will move down, and then let the sacrum sink down. Repeat this a few times. Slowly lift your sacrum and then lower it. And then continue the same action, but bring your awareness to the lumbar spine. As you lift your sacrum, bend your lumbar spine backwards. You can imagine bending around something that is behind your body. Then let your sacrum sink down so that your lumbar spine bends forwards. And the key point to be aware of, as you bend your spine backwards, feel the lumbar spinal erectors. See if you can feel them activating in order to bend your spine backwards. Then when you sink your sacrum, let these muscles relax. Then you can continue that action on. So once you're familiar with that feeling of feeling the lumbar spinal erectors activating, then carry your awareness up to the thoracic spine. So first, lift your sacrum, bend your lumbar spine backwards, feel the lumbar spinal erectors activating, then try and carry the contraction of the spinal erectors up the back of the thoracic spine. So as you do so, your chest will lift and open. Then again, relax, allow your lumbar spine and thoracic spine to bend forwards. It may take some practice to get this, but once you get the general feel of the exercise, try to avoid any sudden movement, so suddenly lifting your tailbone. Instead, try to smoothly lift your tailbone, then carry the contraction, begin to contract the lower portion of the spinal erectors, then gradually carry the contraction of the lumbar spine up the lower thoracic spine, then the upper thoracic spine between the shoulder blades, and then gently relax rather than just suddenly relaxing. See if you can make the relaxation phase also smooth. One other point to be aware of, sometimes I see people who, when they bend their thoracic spine backwards, they use their shoulders as well. See if you can keep your shoulders relaxed. We'll go into shoulder awareness in a moment. See if you can keep your shoulders relaxed as you bend your thoracic spine backwards. So all you're doing is activating these muscles to bend the lumbar spine backwards, and then these muscles here to bend the thoracic spine backwards. So I'm not doing this, which is activating the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. Instead, the shoulders are relaxed, and then relax your spine so that it can bend forwards. For the next exercise, this is a variation of tabletop yoga pose. The idea is first to practice feeling the shoulders. Use your shoulders to lift your ribcage, then bend your thoracic spine backwards so your chest is open, and then relax. If you have trouble with this, generally in exercise, if I see students having difficulty, then I'll have them practice moving the shoulders relative to the rib cage with the hands relaxed, not bearing weight. So for that, you could practice moving the shoulders back, and then relax, shoulders back, and then relax. And once you get that action, you could perhaps focus on feeling the inside edges of the shoulder blades. As the shoulders move back, squeeze the inside edges of the shoulder blades together, and then relax. So you could practice that a few times, and then try the same action with your hands on the floor. Move your shoulder blades together so that your chest moves forward, and then relax. Move your shoulder blades together so your chest moves forward, and then relax. And what you may feel is as you move your shoulder blades together, the hands actually press down into the floor, and the chest lifts a little bit. So continuing this action, once you have the basic action of moving the shoulder blades together, see if you can focus on just pushing the hands down and lifting your chest up, moving your chest away from the floor, and then relax. And when you relax, see if you can let your chest sink down. See if you can let your rib cage sink down between your shoulders. Almost feels like your chest is hanging down from your shoulders. So press the hands down, lift the rib cage. Then the additional action, once you're familiar with this, bend the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine backwards. See how that opens the chest even more. And then relax, both actions, sink down. From there, add the feet. So you move your hips forwards, and that's another note. Experiment with having your hands a little bit further back when lifting and lowering the chest. Forwards, you may find it a bit, if your hands are forward more closer to the pelvis, you may find it harder to sink down. So perhaps try it with the hands back. You can also turn the hands out or even point them back. I generally prefer to keep the wrist pointing forwards. So from there, 4-step exercise. First, lift the rib cage, push your hands down, lift the rib cage. 2, bend the thoracic spine backwards. You can also bend the lumbar spine backwards. 3, press the feet down, lift the hips. 4, lower, and then relax. So variation of tabletop. Once you're familiar with the shoulder actions and that of bending the thoracic spine backwards, you could actually hold the pose. And from there, keep your pelvis lifted, so press your feet down so your pelvis presses upwards. And then from there, see if you can relax the shoulders so your chest sinks down. Then activate the shoulders so that the chest sinks up. So in this action, I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together to lift the chest. Then I'm relaxing the shoulder blades, letting them spread apart so the rib cage sinks down. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. Additionally, you could try bending the thoracic spine back a little bit more so it feels like your sternum is reaching back that way. Then relax your shoulders, let your chest sink down. So repeat that a few times and then rest, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Although in tabletop the focus was on the shoulders, I actually think of this tabletop action as an action for opening up the front of the hips. And a counter pose for that is to focus on closing the front of the hips. And the variation, the exercise I use for that, to train the hip flexors, is a variation of boat pose. Excuse me. So start with your chest lifted. So to lift the chest, bend your thoracic spine backwards. You could also lengthen the neck. To lengthen your neck, pull your ears away from your shoulders and chin down slightly. Reach your arms forward. And for this action, for reaching the arms forward, you could actually do the opposite to tabletop. So instead of bringing the shoulder blades together, spread the shoulder blades so that your arms feel long. Then from there, keep the chest open, reach the arms forward and tilt your upper body back. So pelvis and rib cage tilt back together so your spine stays reasonably straight and also long. Keep your heels on the floor. From there, lift I'm going to use the opposite, so I'll say lift your right knee, pull it into the chest, try and keep your chest open, then lower the foot to the floor and relax the leg. Lift your left knee. See if you can pull the left knee back to the chest and then relax. Try and keep the chest open. Lift your right knee, pull the knee back to the chest, relax, and then left knee, pull the left knee up, pull it back towards the chest, and then relax, and then sit up to relax. We'll come back to this exercise with a variation, but before we do that, we'll use the next pose again as sort of a counter pose, but to rest the hip flexors. For this exercise, sit up straight with your feet about hip width apart. Your legs can be relaxing. Place your hands on the floor for now. For this exercise, press the backs of your knees down to the floor. Imagine opening the backs of the knees. And if you can see, with my knees, opening the back of the knees, my quadriceps, these muscles here, activate, and then relax. So open the backs of the knees, press the backs of the knees down, and then relax. Additionally, if you like, you can try spreading the toes. Most importantly for now, open the back of the knees, activate the quadriceps, and then relax. For even more body awareness, once you're used to that, open the backs of the knees first, then open the chest. Lengthen your neck. If you like, reach the arms forward, and gently relax. See if you can slowly open the backs of the knees, slowly engage the quadriceps, and gradually lengthen the spine, and then relax. Repeat that a few more times if you like. And then go back to the boat pose position. Lift the chest, lengthen the sides of the neck, reach your arms forward, and spread the shoulder blades so your arms feel long. If you have trouble with that, practice like this. Shoulders forward, shoulders relax, shoulders forward, relax, shoulder blades spread as the shoulders move forward, and then relax. Repeat that a few times, and then this variation, chest open, move the shoulders forward, lean back. So again, I'll use the opposite. You lift your right leg. This time, keep the knee lifted, straighten the knee. Focus on opening the back of the knee so the quadricep engages. Then put the foot down, relax. Lift the left knee, gradually open the leg. If you need to, help it with the hand. Focus on opening the back of the knee, put the foot down, relax. I usually do this maybe twice each leg, and then gradually increase it in further practice. Keep the chest open, arms long. Lift the knee, open the back of the knee. You could try rotating the leg out or in slightly. You could also try, we'll get into this later, squeezing the side of the buttocks. You might find that helps, particularly if your quadricep or your rectus femoris cramps up. Left knee, straighten, open the back of the knee, smile, and then relax and sit up. For the next set of exercises, we'll be using a belly down position, starting off with a cat pose position, so on all fours. Position your wrists under your shoulders, position your knees under your hips. And for this action, you'll be doing the exact opposite as to what you did in the tabletop preparation, but the feeling is almost the same. See if you can relax your shoulders, let your ribcage sink down, and then push your hands down, spread your shoulder blades so your ribcage lifts up. And if you're, so relax, let your chest sink down, then push your hands into the floor, lift your ribcage up. A general preparation exercise for people who have difficulty with this, as I showed you before, move the shoulders forward with your arms relaxed, and then relax, shoulders forward, and then relax. And then from there, you can focus on feeling the inside edges of your shoulder blades. So try and keep your chest open, move your shoulders forward so the inside edges of your shoulder blades here move away from each other, and then relax. Spread and then relax, and then try the same action with your hands forward. Spread the shoulder blades, relax, spread, and then relax, and then try it here. Try to make your arms feel long, push the hands into the floor, relax, push the hands into the floor, and then relax. So repeat that a few times. The next exercise builds up on the very first exercise where we're bending the spine forward, but now we'll add the legs. So to begin with, lift your tailbone so that your pubic bone moves back. So at the beginning I said lift the tailbone so your lumbar spine, so your pubic bone moves down. In this case, lift the tailbone and move it forwards. So tailbone moves forward, pubic bone moves back, and your lumbar spine bends backwards. Also bend your thoracic spine backwards. See if you can contract the lumbar erector spinae and the thoracic erector spinal erector, sorry. And then from there, keep that action. Reach your left leg back. Try to make the back of the knee feel open and point the knee down. From there, lift the leg up as high as you can. You'll feel your buttock activating, also the hamstrings. And then from there, spread your shoulder blades, lift your rib cage up, then lower your rib cage. Lift your rib cage and then lower. Release the leg. Start off Pull your sacrum forward, pubic bone back, lumbar spine bend backwards, thoracic spine bend backwards, make your neck long. Right leg back, open the back of the knee, point the knee down, lift the leg high. So butt activated, hamstrings activated. Then spread your shoulder blades, lift your rib cage, lower your rib cage, keep your elbows straight. Spread your shoulder blades, retract your shoulder blades, and then relax. One additional action you could add to this exercise, even though you're bending your spine backwards, perhaps pull your lower belly in so your abdominal muscles are a little bit engaged. So use that, keep your spinal erectors activated, but use the abdominals as well. So one more time. And usually if I'm doing this in front of a mirror, I try to lift my leg up high enough that I can see my heel lifting up above my head in the mirror. So you can work towards that. So knee back, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, lengthen the neck, lift the knee up. To keep the knee pointing down, focus on pulling up on the inside edge of the leg, let the thigh almost hang down from the inner knee. From there, so spinal erectors activated, back of the leg activated, abs activated, shoulder blades spread, lift the rib cage, relax, lift the rib cage, and then relax. And then other leg, spinal erectors activated, leg back, open the back of the knee, point it down. So pull up on the back, on the inside edge of the knee, let the outer thigh hang down. So lift the leg up high, spinal erectors activated, butt, hamstring, shoulder blades spread, relax, spread, and relax, and then come down. Ideally in that previous exercise you learn to feel, or you can work towards feeling the entire back of your spine and hip and leg activating. So spinal erectors, gluteus maximus, and hamstrings. For the next exercise, it's sort of a counter pose. You're again focusing on the hips. But, and this exercise is also a preparation for low lunge. And it's a little bit different. This goes back to the side plank exercise from my previous video. For this video, focus on the feet. So with the knees on the floor, feel your feet, press your feet down into the floor. You may find that if you press gradually, so this action, if you press gradually enough, you may feel your abs activating as you do so, and then relax. Feel your knees. As you press your feet into the floor, notice the feeling in your knees. What I feel is my knees relaxing, so the pressure, the way that my knees press into the floor is relaxing. Then when I relax the feet, my knees press down with gradually more pressure as they bear my weight. So from there, the exercise can be press your feet down slowly, feel the point which your knees are still on the floor but totally relaxed. Then from there, increase the pressure just a little bit more to the point that your knees lift a little bit off of the floor. So here they're totally free. Then slowly touch the knees to the floor and then gradually relax. You may be able to see my abs activating as I do this. So press the feet down gradually, feel the knees relax, and then press down with just enough pressure to lift the knees. See what's the minimum height you can lift your knees, touch the skin of your knees to the floor, and then relax. So repeat that a few times, then add the shoulders. Spread the shoulders first to lift your rib cage, then press the feet down to the point that the knees relax, then lift the knees. Knees to the floor, relax your feet, relax your shoulders. Use your shoulders, spread your shoulders to lift your rib cage, press your feet into the floor, feel your knees relax, and then lift the knees, knees down, relax the legs, relax the shoulders. Repeat that a few times. This will be a preparation for the next pose, which is some lunging variations. For this next exercise, if your knees are uncomfortable in a lunge, so in this position, if your back knee is uncomfortable, roll up your mat. If you're using a mat, roll a mat up, or a towel, place a towel under your knee, like so. So this exercise builds up a little bit on what I talked about in the side plank exercise. In side plank, I was talking about making a leg feel strong or relaxing it. And so for example, In this position, I'd make the front leg strong, lift the back leg, then put the back leg on the floor, make the back leg strong, lift the front leg, put it back on the floor. So for this exercise, do more or less the same thing. Start, move your hips forwards, position the front foot so it's not like this, move the foot forward. This I'd suggest is too far, there's nothing wrong with it, but this is generally the position I like, with the front of the ankle just a little bit behind the back of the knee. If you like, you can pull your lower belly in a little bit, focus on the front leg. Make the front leg strong. So as you make the front leg strong, press your foot into the floor a little bit more, then slowly relax your front leg. And as you do that, notice your pelvis. So when I make the front leg strong, feel this activating, perhaps my buttock, my pelvis lifts a little bit. Then when I relax, my pelvis sinks down. So repeat that a few times. Excuse me. Then tuck your back, the toes of your back foot under. And this goes back to the previous exercise. So first make your front leg strong. Then press the back foot into the floor enough that your back knee feels light on the floor. You feel this muscle here activating. Then relax both legs. Make the front leg strong. Press the back foot into the floor. Press it down with enough pressure that the knee gets light on the floor, and then see if you can lift the knee about half an inch off of the floor. Touch the knee down. Relax the back leg. Relax the front leg. Activate the front leg. Press the back foot down, feel the back knee get light, lift the back knee, and if you like, you can straighten the back of the back knee. Make the back of the knee feel open. Slowly touch it down, then relax. To change legs, move your hips back, change legs, then the other leg on the floor. If you're using the towel under your knee, adjust it, and then go forward. Option, you can rest your elbows on your knee if you like. So front leg strong, press your back knee down. Press your back foot down, relax the knee, then lift it. Open the back of the knee, then knee on the floor, relax both legs. Front leg strong, press the back foot down, slowly lift the knee. If you like, you could add an arm lift. You touch the knee to the floor, and then relax. And you repeat that a few times. Then the next variation is to move into a low lunge. So that was a high lunge, and there the focus was more on the back leg, opening the back of the leg. For low lunge, have the hands on the floor. And actually this is, if you're having trouble with the previous exercise, lifting and lowering the back leg, this may be a better position. You can start with your leg forward, use your shoulders, lift your rib cage. Then from there, you gradually press the back foot into the floor, feel the knee getting light, lift the back knee, touch the back knee down, and then relax. You don't even have to worry about the front leg. And just a quick note, why am I doing this? The slowly lifting and lower the knee, just so you can learn to be more body aware. You don't always have to move smoothly and slowly, but my ideal is to have the ability to move slowly and smoothly, easily when I choose to. Now moving into low lunge, start with one leg forward, one leg back, same foot position, so not like this, with the ankle way back behind the knee. Have the foot forward a little bit, and from there with the left foot forward, I'd suggest placing the right elbow on the floor first. If you're having difficulty, if you can't reach that low, yoga blocks are ideal. Place your opposite elbow on the floor first, and then the inside elbow. I'd suggest placing, so if your left leg is forward, I'd suggest it's easier to get your right elbow onto the floor first, and then from there, sink your left elbow. For this exercise, here again, focus first on the front leg, make the front leg strong, then relax. Front leg strong, your pelvis will lift a little bit, and then relax. And then add the back leg. So front leg strong, press the back foot down, feel the knee relax, and then slowly lift the back knee. And the idea here is not to lift the pelvis up, but rather to use the weighted leg to add weight to the stretch. Actually, that's a bit confusing. So relax, activate the front leg, press the front back foot down, lift the back knee, then back knee down, relax the leg. So we'll just focus on using those exercises for now. Front leg strong, back foot pressing to the floor, lift the back knee, open the back of the knee, and then relax. And then from there, come up, hands on the floor. This is actually what I use as a warm-up for push-up. Bend the elbows with the intention of sinking your chest to the floor. From here, activate the front leg. You may find your arms have to work less. Press the back foot into the floor, lift the knee. Put the knee on the floor, relax, and then come up. Bend your elbows, lower your chest. So the goal here is to try and get your chest to the floor, not your head, your chest. Front leg strong. Lift the back knee, hold. Lower. Then before you lift up, see if you can sink your chest a little bit lower to the floor. And then come up. Bend the elbows, sink your chest. Front leg strong, back leg strong. Relax the legs, sink down a little bit more. And then come up. Bend the elbows. Front leg strong, back leg strong. Relax the legs, sink down. And then come up. And then from there, lift the arms, move your pelvis back, switch your legs, and then go back into it. So this time with the opposite leg forward, outside elbow on the floor first, and then the inside elbow. You may find the inside elbow is hard to get to the floor. That's fine. Just let it sink down. Try and let the side of your body that is closer to the thigh sink down. You may find there's a little bit of a twist, and then from there pull the knee inwards. It's the same basic pattern, front leg strong, then back leg strong. What you may find as you lift the back knee, feels like there's more weight on the front leg, and that's the intention. And as you get more used to these exercises, you can use that weight to make it easier to sink your pelvis closer to the floor. So another variation of this exercise, so once you're familiar with activating both legs, so you can do the elbows on the floor first, so front leg activated, back leg activated, put the knee on the floor and then relax. Front leg activated, you could lift the ribcage if you like, back leg activated and then relax. Then go to the push-up variation. For this one, bend your elbows, try and keep your spine long. So front leg active, back leg active. Keep your legs strong, keep your elbows bent, then relax the legs, bend the elbows a little bit more. Keep the elbows bent, front leg strong, back leg active, hold for a breath, then relax the legs, sink the chest down. Legs active, lengthen the spine, legs relax, sink the chest down. Keep the elbows bent. Keep the elbows bent, activate the legs, relax the legs, keep the elbows bent, then increase the bend, sink your chest to the floor. So try the first variation first on both legs if you like. Once you have a feel, then go to the slightly different variation, keeping the elbows bent and gradually lowering your chest to the floor. For this exercise, we're actually continuing with push-up variations, and this is actually a preparation then for Chaturanga Dandasana. So to start off with, hands on the floor, and all you'll do is keep your chest open, press the hands into the floor, and then relax. Now from here, slowly press the hands down, so you feel your shoulders activated. As you press your hands down, feel your chest getting light on the floor. And this is exactly the same as here. Press your foot down so that your knee gets light on the floor, and you can lift it. So for this exercise, press the hands down until your chest gets light on the floor, and then relax the arms. Try to do this slowly. Slowly press the hands down. Feel your chest getting light on the floor. If you like, you can lift your shoulders up a little bit. Move the shoulder blades together, and then relax. Slowly press the hands down. Feel your chest getting light on the floor, then slowly relax. And then from there, press the hands down. Feel your chest getting light on the floor. Then lift your chest just a little bit. Lift your belly as well. Hopefully with this mat, it's actually easier to see. So keep your neck long. And actually that could be the first step. Lengthen your neck, open the top of the chest, this part here. Press the hands down. Lift your ribs and belly. Keep your pelvis on the floor. And then relax. Slow. So rather than this and this, Slowly press down, lift, lower, and then relax. From there, move to the legs, hands back, feel your knees. Press your knees down, lift your hips, and then lower. Notice I'm not going like that. Slowly press your knees down, lift the hips. If your lower back feels a little bit crunchy, pull your lower belly in. See if you can flatten your back, and then relax. Press your knee down, pull your lower belly in, lift your pelvis, and then relax. I'm going to put my hands forward just so you can see. Press the knees down, lift the hips, and then relax. And then from there, next step, press the knees down, lift the hips, lower belly in. And then from there, press the feet down, keep your hips lifted, lift the knees, and then relax. Press the knees down, lift the hips, press the feet down, lift the knees, and then relax. Then add that all together. First, chin lifted, neck long, upper chest open. Press the hands down gradually. Lift the chest and belly. Press the knees down, lift the pelvis. You can stop there. So relax, lower down, relax. So press the hands down, lift the chest and belly. Press the knees down, lift the pelvis. Lower down, relax, or press the hands down, lift the chest and belly, press the knees down, lift the pelvis, press the feet down, lift the knees, lower, relax. Hands, chest, knees, pelvis, feet, knees, relax. So repeat that a few times, rest when you need to, and when resting, you may feel it feels nice just to rest. I don't know if you're on the frame there or not. Just rest with your chin on your hands, like so. Then you can repeat the same exercise, or if you like, try to lift everything together, but slow and smooth. So it might start with knees and hands. Press your knees, hands down smoothly. See if you can lift pelvis and rib cage together. Then relax. Smoothly press down, lift. And then relax, or if you like, add the knees. Press your feet and hands down, lift. And relax, lift, and then relax. To counter pose after push-up, just to stretch out your chest and the front of the shoulder, you can do what I call Bakasana. You can also just think of it as a chest stretch. So lying down, reach one arm to the side. So I'm reaching my right arm, palm down. Notice how my arm is about 90 degrees to my body. I'm going to roll the left side, so my right arm is out. I'll roll the left side of my body off of the floor towards the hand. You can have the left hand on the floor in front of the body, like so. So from here, just roll back. So my right hand's on the floor, it is reaching back. This is the arm I'm stretching. So reach your left leg back. So as you turn your pelvis up towards the ceiling, your feet are separated as opposed to crossed. So separate your feet, bend your knees. See if you can point your knees up to the ceiling. And the idea in this pose is to get so I'm stretching my right arm, and then try and get my left butt cheek to the floor so that it's a bit more comfortable. You may place this hand on the floor in front of you. Press the hand down to increase the stretch, or relax the pressure of the hand to decrease the stretch. And do the same thing on the other side. Notice that this is actually, it's not just a twist, it's not just a stretch for the front of the shoulder and this part of the chest, it's also a twist in action. So while doing this pose, focus on feeling your lumbar spine. You may find you're feeling it anyway. Also focus on feeling your ribs. So try breathing into your ribs, so expand space between your ribs and then relax. And to go deeper, so in this case I'm turning my pelvis to the right relative to my rib cage so that my right buttock can gradually sink to the floor. I can also focus on relaxing the left shoulder. One other point, if you look at my hand, hopefully you can see it. Rather than keeping the hand flat on the floor, you may find it helps if you lift the pinky side of the hand off of the floor slightly. So in this instance, I'm rolling the shoulder internally like that, just a touch. So you could try internally rotating the shoulder just a little bit, or you could do the opposite, externally rotate it so that you're trying to lift the thumb side of your hand. Also, if this is too challenging, do it with the palm up. So instead of palm down, rotate the arm internally. So notice the point of my elbow is pointing in the same direction as my head. So do it like this first, move into the pose. You find this is hopefully a little bit easier. If you like, you can clasp the hands or just keep the free hand in front. Then come out, turn the palm down, and then go. Try it again with the palm downwards. And as a way to practice this idea of feeling when part of your body is relaxed and part of it is strong, your foundation, I like to do Bakasana again. So in this case, from a lying down position, just coming up to a squat, feet turned out. Notice my heels are slightly closer, my feet are turned out. So from there, I'm going to lift my hips higher than my knees, hands on the floor, hands close to my feet, and rest my shins on the backs of my arms. And then from there, my weight's on my feet, so my hands are relaxed. And I touch my hands to the floor. I can lift my hands easily at any point. Then as I shift my weight forward, my legs press into my arms, and that causes my hands to press into the floor. The more I shift my weight forward, the more my hands press down and the more my feet relax. And ideally what I can feel is if I repeat that exercise, I can feel an increase in pressure in my hands. Now it decreases. I could even lift the hands. I can feel an increase in pressure in my hands as I shift my weight forward, and then a decrease. Then I can focus on the feet, or I tell someone to focus on the feet. Shift the weight forward, feel the feet gradually relax. There, I can lift, then shift back. Feel the weight in the feet. The feet can relax, I can lift them, and then shift back. And that is a similar, basically it's a similar sort of idea to lifting the knee in lunging. So in this case, both my foot and my knee are on the floor. My foot's relaxed, I could lift the foot easily. However, if I press the foot down so the foot is strong to the point that my knee relaxes, then I can lift the knee easily. And this is something that I went over in the side plank variation, the side plank video, and it's also a similar idea in push-up. Here, if I feel my arms pressing down, I can also feel my chest relaxing, so then it's easy to take my chest off the floor. Then if my chest is heavy sinking into the floor, my arms relax, I could lift the arms. So, and this is something basic that you can apply to any action where two parts of your body on the floor. Which part is relaxed, i.e. on the floor but not pressing down? Which part is heavy or strong? Which part is actively pressing down into the floor and supporting your body? And then there can be variations between those two. And what I suggest is learn to practice changing your foundation slowly and smoothly so that it's easier to learn to feel your body, but at the same time you can also practice controlling it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Namaste.